Welcome back to What Is Happening. I'm your co-host / host, along with Jonathan. My name's Isaac. This is
PJ.
Said it twice. Hey, welcome back, guys. Episode 3 and a squirt of sanitizer to start us off. Here's some ASMR for you guys. We have another good show for you today, tomorrow, yesterday, whenever you're watching this. Evening, morning news, noon, second breakfast.
We have no idea.
You know this isn't a morning show. It's an any time of the day show.
Any time of the day.
It's that meal that you can just eat. It's not a themed meal. It's not a breakfast. Yeah. It's not a dinner.
They can get it whenever they want.
They can get it whenever they want.
More than once.
They could, and they could get it in the podcast or video form. However you get it, or got it, or are going to get it. We're glad you're here with us. I think we should just roll into a random fact of the day. This one's pretty good. First segment, obviously, we're hitting our random fact of the day. We've got a good one for you guys. Jonathan actually found this fact, but I'm going to read it off. Pringles aren't actually potato chips.
Isn't that just crazy?
This is nuts.
It just blows my mind.
It's because, now, I know what you're thinking. They taste like potato chips. Yes, because they are made with, it says here, freeze-dried, air-dried, potato, like bits of potato.
So wild.
It's dehydrated potato flakes. Excuse me for my incorrectness. Dehydrated potato flakes that are pressed in a mold of the Pringles shape. So they're not actual, like, most potatoes, like, you know how they're like wavy? They're cut with a wavy knife and then, like, you know, fried or whatever, turned into potato chips.
What that makes me think of? Potato dandruff.
Potato dandruff.
Is that what it is?
Are we eating potato dandruff?
Is it potato dandruff?
That's the hot button question. Leave us in the comments down below. Are we eating potato dandruff?
You tell us.
It's the hottest discussion, I think, right now. Oh,
potato
yeah,
flakes?
Potato flakes.
Combined together.
Flaky, unless you're using Head & Shoulders. Head & Shoulders sponsor us. Potato dandruff. That's your random fact of the day. Moving on. What is happening in the world around you?
They're not ready.
They're not ready for what we've got for them today. What is happening in the world around you? Why don't you kick it off?
So let me kick it off with this. An Oregon man drove to 11 different Wendy's restaurants. Not a couple. 11 different Wendy's restaurants. Not just once, but twice in one day to stock up on free nuggets.
You mean, okay, let's do some math here.
If
you guys don't know, Wendy's was giving out free nuggets during the pandemic. You get a 4-piece for free. He went to 11 restaurants. That's 44, but he did it twice. That's 88 nuggets that this man was able to acquire.
Were they giving 4 nuggets?
It was a free 4-piece. Did you not see the deal?
No, I didn't see it.
But he did it
twice a day. Twice.
Yeah, so it's 88 nuggets.
So 11 different.
It's 22 different visits.
Yeah.
Because it's 11 restaurants 2 times each.
Yeah.
Nuts.
That's
88
nuggets.
88
That's insane, man.
Nuggets, dude. That's crazy. Maybe he was stocking up. Maybe he was going to go home, put some in the fridge, you think? Or was it, did he eat them all in the same, there's a picture?
Wow.
He drove.
You'll have to send me. They were within 17 miles of each other.
You have to send me a picture.
It was across
I'll
two
show
states.
them. Hey, if you're on the podcast, you're not going to see this photo. But there's a photo of the guy with the chicken nuggets in his front seat. Looks insane. It looks crazy.
5 hours.
He's like posing with the nuggets.
But he's eating with he's eating for a week with 88 nuggets. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, dude. But that's like, yeah, the breakdown, that's crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
That's like 11 nuggets a day over 7 days is 77. So he's eating like, I don't know what the math would be. Somebody do the math and let us know. I've got a pretty crazy story here.
What's up?
Cool story, crazy story. I'll do my cool one first and my crazy one after you do your other one. My first one is teen wrestling champ squashes kidnapping by squashing the suspect.
That's crazy, man.
So I guess there was a kidnapping taking place. It looks like in this store, it says a 16-year-old wrestling champion helped stop a kidnapping and assault near La Cruces, New Mexico.
That's pretty amazing.
Forgive my pronunciation.
Pretty amazing.
It is really cool. He pinned the man to the ground and held him there until deputies arrived. That to me
Sounds
is
like
insane.
a movie.
That has to be scary. What do you think goes through your head? Somebody is getting kidnapped. You're like, I'm a wrestler.
Fight or flight, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because he wasn't getting kidnapped.
No.
Somebody else was.
Yeah.
And he said on the man. So I guess it was a mother who was getting kidnapped. The mother told authorities that she got off a bus stop with her children ages 9, 2, and 1 and was waiting for an Uber driver to arrive when a man grabbed her 2-year-old and demanded the woman turn over her children. This dude, that he was trying to get kids. This is crazy. Yeah. This is craziness. We usually report on fun stories. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of funny.
Story, right?
It's an amazing story. Luckily it's not heartbreaking. Luckily, we were able to smile and laugh while talking about it, because this wrestler, a 16-year-old wrestler, not much older than maybe some of the youth kids that we have watching, stopped it. That is impressive. And a big ups. They don't list the kid's name, they don't list the kid's name, and I think that's good. That's really cool. Props to you in New Mexico. What do you have? This one is gross.
I don't really know what this guy was thinking, honestly.
Forewarning, it's gross. If I can add the picture, I may, but it's really gross.
Listen,
go ahead.
None of you are this old, so I don't think you'll run into this issue. But this guy, location unknown.
Yeah, we don't know his name.
Somewhere in the world. Okay.
Somewhere.
But he decided to open a 25-year-old can of Chef Boyardee Spider-Man noodles.
Oh, okay? I didn't even know they made Spider-Man noodles that old.
25 years ago.
1995?
Actually, I think I remember seeing that can. No joke.
Dude.
Anyway, so he opened it.
It's vintage.
Okay. And I don't know what you're expecting, but it wasn't good. Okay, it was not in good shape. Apparently, this 15 ounces of Spider-Man pasta was reduced to a rotted 3-ounce chunk.
Okay? Guys, this is. I'm gonna make sure I get a photo. This is gross.
So for those of you that are stockpiling Chef Boyardee and other stuff like that,
it doesn't last.
It's not gonna last.
It's not non-perishable.
It's pretty disgusting.
It perishes.
It's actually got corrosion on the inside from the can.
No,
where the acidity from the
what
pasta.
Is happening? What is happening? This is gross.
That is sick.
I pray none of you find the 25. If you find a 25-year-old can of Chef Boyardee, you've seen the photo, you know what it is, throw it away.
Dude's going to get tetanus from Chef Boyardee.
Throw it away. Man. He's going to get something from even inhaling.
Nothing against you, Chef Boyardee.
No.
This is not your
fault. Provided many a ravioli. Next story. I've got a good one.
Yeah,
you're going to like this.
Hit him with it. I'm ready.
This is just a fun one. A crazy one. I couldn't believe when I read it. This says a Colorado man identified only as Joe B, because you're gonna understand in a second why this man stayed anonymous. Won 2 $1 million Powerball jackpots on March 25th. This was very recently. Dude hit the jackpot of $1 million twice.
We don't endorse gambling.
Millionaire. We don't endorse gambling.
But this is wild.
This is crazy. The reason we don't endorse gambling is statistically, this man just beat all odds. We're going to talk about a little bit about statistics earlier in our later in our myth section. But right now, I'm just shocked that this guy won it twice. I can't even imagine that. I think I read that you'd have to play the lottery every day for 500 years to guarantee a win. That is insane to me. Again, we don't endorse gambling because you lose unless you're Joe B in Colorado. Twice. He's been playing. Okay, this is even crazier. I just read this. We do everything fresh here. With a little bit of luck and persistence, a Colorado man has hit the jackpot twice after playing the same number for 30 years. This is a bit of a tangent. There was a show, you might have seen it on Kiefer. It was Kiefer Sutherland, and the kid in it was in Gotham, and I'm gonna forget the name of it. It was about how everybody's connected, and this kid had superpowers. It was a show on Fox. It was short-lived. Might have been called Spotlight or something. I don't know. You can look it up and tell me in the comments. Anyway, the show was about a lot of happenstance and chance, how none of our connections are coincidental. It wasn't using the Bible to explain those things. It was using string theory and science. Yeah. I don't think there's any coincidences, as we know of what is happening. Nothing really happens without a reason. But this show featured around this guy. It was a guy and his son. They met a firefighter who, in the show, was a firefighter during 9/11, and he had used the same number, to play the lottery every day for since 9/11. And the show was in 2014, and in the show he won after using the same number for 13 years.
That's crazy, man.
It was crazy. I didn't think that it could actually happen, but here we have it in this news story of Joe B from Colorado.
Yeah. So, drop something else that's happening online. This one is a little bit different, a little bit unique, a little bit crazy. Sounds a little
strange.
Sounds like fake news to me. Okay, but a lot of people are speculating that a stranded kayaker might really be Bigfoot. The unidentified man was reported missing for more than 12 hours before he was finally rescued off of a remote island. But people thought that it was Bigfoot.
I don't know.
People are just...
What are we going to do with that?
What is happening?
What is happening? Like,
I don't get it, man.
This part of the show when we started doing this show, we really did not realize all the crazy stories we were going to find.
It's blowing our mind.
It's blowing our minds every time we look it up. We don't do like hours upon hours of research for the show. We really just try to find things that we think are crazy enough to be in this show and these segments. So when you stumbled upon that one, I was just like,
yeah, that one was.
I had never thought that I would read something like this.
People really believe there's Bigfoot, man.
I don't know.
I mean, Pastor Derek wears like a size 14.
He's got big feet.
What is considered Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Right?
Is
Shaq,
a man.
Shaq,
Dude, have you
size
seen
17?
Shaq's feet?
Yeah, that's a Bigfoot.
He's Bigfoot. He's got big feet.
Oh.
So now moving right along to our next segment, what is happening on the internet? I have a great story. This one less about Bigfoot, more about helping people. I think it's pretty dope. I found it on Twitter. It's a 16-year-old takes the fight against COVID-19 to new heights. We were actually just asked a question the other day on one of the social media outlets that we use. How come you can get a pilot's license at 14 but not a driver's license until you're 16? This kid named TJ Kim was not able to drive yet. He didn't have his license yet. He was 16, but I would assume had just turned 16 when they were writing the story on him. He is putting his flying lessons, though, to good use. He's been delivering much-needed PPE, personal protective equipment, to rural Virginia hospitals. So hospitals that aren't easy to access through, like, freight delivery, that kind of stuff. He literally flies it in to them, flies back, and grabs more. I thought that was crazy cool.
That's really
We've talked about some stories earlier. A 16-year-old taking down a kidnapper. Now a 16-year-old is going and delivering things with a pilot, like in a plane with his pilot's license. It really goes to show you're going to do better at this than I am. The verse in the Bible that don't look down on the youth.
Yeah.
Really, seriously.
Let no one despise your youth.
Let no one despise your youth. You guys, we've said it before. If you're younger, if you're part of our youth group watching this, you can do so much right now. You could fly a plane and deliver personal protective equipment.
Once you get your license.
Don't do it without one.
Yeah.
We're not recommending you fly without a license. We are saying anything's possible.
Maybe you can get your license.
Maybe you can, but don't fly without it. You have, I think, another story here, correct?
No,
on
it's
social media.
It's on our next segment.
Oh, we're moving on to myths. Our myth segment. So, what were they thinking? Common myths that were believed to be true. These ones last week or last episode. I keep saying week as if we're doing this weekly. We'll say it again. It's an anytime show.
You never know.
It's an anytime show.
When we're gonna drop the show.
We don't have a schedule. But last episode, we found myths that people believed, urban legends, that were, I will say, a little hard to believe.
Yeah.
This time, honestly, these are common ones. You've been told these. Everybody's heard these. I believed yours, and I believed mine when I was younger, too. So these aren't off-the-wall ones. These are crazy. You go ahead and you start.
I still have my hands up because I'm like, what is happening?
This is great. This to me,
one.
it opens up a whole new thought process.
Like, I want to fact check this, but it makes sense.
It does make sense. It does.
It really does.
So go ahead. Go ahead with it.
So here's the myth. Are you ready? The myth is that we have 5 senses.
That's
They're
the myth.
saying.
Before you go on, the myth is that we have 5 senses. Not it's true.
Yeah.
They're saying it's false.
They're saying the truth is we actually have at least 4 other senses.
So 9.
So at least 4.
At least 4.
Yeah. So
they're saying there could be more.
More.
We're discovering senses still.
Yeah, you know sight, you know sound, you know touch, taste, and smell. Okay, those are your 5.
No, this is crazy. Keep going.
This is what they're saying, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words right, but this is what they're saying. They're saying that these other 4 are rarely cited: proprioception, sensing one's orientation in space. Okay, thermoception, the sense of temperature, okay? Equilibrioception, the sense of balance. These are some words
that I have an issue pronouncing. You're doing a good job.
Equilibrioception, the sense of balance, and interoception, the sense of one's physiological condition.
I guess that would be like, you know that you're sick.
Yeah, well, the temperature.
These make sense.
Yeah, you have fever. You're like, I feel kind of hot.
Yeah.
The balance that makes
sense too.
Orientation,
We wouldn't be reading it if it didn't make sense, and it makes sense. We aren't, believe it or not, we're not scientists, so we can't say 100% that this is correct. But I mean, that's crazy. If we really have 9 plus unknown amount of senses, but 5 plus 4 is 9. We know we have 5. We think we have 4 more. We might have more than that. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. I can't believe, like I said, the myths this episode are pretty believable. My myth is also pretty believable, at least when you're younger. I think as you get older, you realize this is crazy. I actually watched a show that disproved this, but I'll get to the myth. The myth is dog mouths are cleaner than human mouths.
Wow.
That's the myth. I believed it. I believe that dog mouths are cleaner than human mouths. They're not. They're not cleaner. Let me get that right off the bat. If you thought they were cleaner, you're like me when I was younger, it's okay. You can admit that you thought they were cleaner because people told you. Like adults would tell. Yeah. Like I feel like adults told me when I was younger, dog mouths are cleaner. And you're like, well, yeah, of course they are.
Well, that brings up a good point too, right? Well, yeah. So we had the guy in the other episode that was licking ice cream. For you dog lovers.
Episode 2, man, that was some.
If dogs' mouths are actually worse, like as far as germs go, don't let your dog.
It's that they're not worse. They are worse.
Yeah, so don't let your dog lick your ice cream and then eat it.
Yeah, people give their dog kisses.
Yeah, don't do that.
It says here in bold, dog mouths are very dirty.
Yeah.
You've heard it here first, maybe, or second, or maybe you were a dental hygienist and just knew.
They heard it here first.
I'm going to say that this is the number one most trusted and reliable source of news. If you don't come to us for news first, you're smart because we deliver news so late. Anyway, moving on now to a section of the show that we both love.
This is our favorite.
This isn't why we do the show. I think we do the show again to connect with you guys, to have some fun, be creative. But if we had to have a steadfast reason as to why it is we think the show could be important, if it is important, is we take some time out of each episode and we do what is happening in the Psalms.
What is happening in the Psalms?
Or songs for Psalms. Yeah, and I'm going to grab the uke right now from underneath the table. They probably wondered how we're grabbing this stuff. I never thought about that. It's magic.
There you go.
And I'm always having to think of new chords and chord changes.
But it's so beautiful. It goes right with the Psalms.
Yeah, so you have a psalm for
What is happening in the Psalms?
What is happening in the Psalms?
Here we go.
Where are we turning to?
We are going to Psalm 94.
Psalm 94.
And we're going to read verse 19. In the multitude of my anxieties within me, your comforts delight my soul. In the multitude of my anxieties within me, your comforts delight my soul. Doesn't matter how anxious, doesn't matter what I'm going through,
doesn't matter.
God is going to comfort us and God is going to delight our soul. Isn't that so good?
I think that is.
I think so.
I was playing some weird notes on the ukulele. Hopefully that didn't distract because that is good.
I think it's a breath of fresh air.
It is. It really is, guys. And if you don't take this time during the show to crack open and read the Psalms with us, we really hope that you will after you're done watching or, at some point. I think, we're doing the show during a quarantine. Maybe you're watching this long after the quarantine's passed. But right now, it's so important to get into the Word and really allow yourself to be given a supernatural peace.
Yep.
That you can't get from news. You can't get from watching. You can't get from subscribing. You can only get it from prayer and time in the Word and time with the Lord. It's so important.
But they should still subscribe.
They should still subscribe.
You should still subscribe.
You should subscribe. Because if nothing else, we're a good reminder.
We're gonna keep you informed.
We're gonna remind you to do those.
We're gonna remind you. That takes us to our next segment. What is happening in
our lives?
Isaac. Sir Isaac, go first.
So, something cool actually. I just finished the other day. Actually, today before we filmed, this morning. There's a documentary called McMillions. McMillions. I watched it on Hulu. If you have Hulu, I believe you might want to consult a parent. Always really consult a parent before you watch anything online, even our show. Make sure that it's approved. We don't want you guys doing anything that you're not allowed to do.
But it'll be approved with us.
Yeah, right? You can definitely watch our show. You can trust. Yeah, we're good guys. It sounds like we're not good guys when we say we're good guys, but we are. At least we hope we are. Anyway, McMillions.
We are.
It's a show. If you remember this, now many of you weren't yet born from our youth group. Now I'm not going to keep gearing things towards just our youth group because hopefully
the whole world is watching.
Will watch the show. We're making this for our youth group, but if you're not here from the AP youth group, we haven't actually said hi. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Guy Fieri, if you're watching.
Guy Fieri.
This is 3 times we've
talked about you. We didn't find a story featuring him today, but we're going to bring him up anyway.
We're going to bring him up.
So, McMillions, if you remember, I remember this. Some of you might remember this. Monopoly at McDonald's. They still have it now, but there was a time where they didn't. Yeah. It ran from 1986 to 2001, and then they stopped it. And that's because there was a man who worked at one of the printing presses and the marketing agencies that was stealing the little remember the stickers?
Yeah, man.
He was stealing the $1 million ones.
Park Place, dude.
Well, that's the thing. He was stealing not only those but the instant millionaire ones because they had ones that were just instant $1 million, and he stole them and was dispersing them. He was charging $100,000 or so to for people because he couldn't use all of them. Right? He would use one, and then he would obviously get caught if he did more than once. I think there was a whole rule against it. But he had this whole system going. He racketed up $20 million stolen from McDonald's. And this show documents it. Meaning, unbeknownst to McDonald's, unbeknownst to some marketing agency who ran it, and us as viewers, as people that were buying, you could never win. You could never win Monopoly at McDonald's.
That explains it.
From 1986 or so to 2001, this dude had all the winners.
You see, in about 97, I was about to win.
Dude, I had Boardwalk. I needed Park Place.
See, I might have had Park Place.
You had we needed to link up back then.
I was this close.
Dude, I was close.
But I had to settle for a free cheeseburger.
I mean, hey, you know what? I'll never turn down
free McFlurry. You remember those?
Free food is free food.
Yeah.
But we weren't going to be millionaires, that's for sure. What do you have though? You were telling me yours is a little more activity focused.
Yeah, well, we're talking about McDonald's, and now we're talking about some physical activity. So anyway, I've been kind of stuck. We all have, and I've been
kind of stuck is an understatement.
Been missing the gym, and really the only thing that I've been able to do is grab a couple of dumbbells. Okay, just a couple of 25-pound dumbbells. Okay. And so I've been trying to get creative with some physical activity. Sir Isaac just got him a new bicycle.
Oh, I did. I've been riding it every day that I can. It's been kind of cold, but dude,
and so fun. I'm kind of just trying to get creative. I'm trying to think of some stuff. I'd love to hear what you guys
Throwback to our first episode. We don't know the results yet because of our filming schedule. Yeah. But we might have to run 5K.
We might have to run a 5K. So we have to get
physically fit. We might have to go run a 5K. Hopefully, you guys commented, and actually, I'm hoping we have to.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it.
But we just need to look at the comments.
We just have to look at the comments.
They definitely have commented by now.
They've got to have commented by now.
Sure.
If you haven't commented by now, are they allowed to go back?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Are they allowed to go back? How long are we gonna? We didn't put a time limit.
We'll give you to episode 3.
By the time that if episode 4 rolls around and it still doesn't have 10 comments, no, not doing it. You have a chance. Go right now to our first video.
You have a chance.
Episode 1 and comment, and then we might run a 5K. But you've been hitting the weights.
I've been trying to
hit the weights.
The limitations there, obviously. So if you have creative ideas, I'd love to hear it. I'm interested in a bicycle.
We have to stay fit because our pizza consumption has gone through the roof.
Very true.
Working on this and everything else, so much La Rosas.
And he said,
La Rosas, you gotta sponsor us. Listen, we eat more pizza pies from La Rosas than anyone else. Guarantee it. Every week we're eating at least 1 or 2. We will literally.
Can you get that box?
We'll put La Rosas unprecedented for the show. Our film crew is getting the pizza box.
Bringing it right now.
I'm gonna eat La Rosas on the show right now.
Right now.
Please,
there's
La Rosas.
1 piece left.
La Rosas. Okay, we
have
it
coming.
This is crazy.
Here we go.
Off the cuff.
Thank
completely.
you, film crew. Eat that last piece so we can turn the box up.
La Rosas. Here we go. I'm gonna grab the piece here. Pan pepperoni.
By the way, La Rosas,
A little cold, but still good.
I sincerely appreciate that $2 off coupon that I got for this pizza.
Dude, it was so cheap today. I mean, we did full price La Rosa's.
Yeah, but that coupon was beneficial.
Our film crew, here you go. Thank you.
Thanks, film crew.
That was great. I'm going to finish that pizza after we're done filming. Look, guys, we've had fun.
We always have fun.
This has been such a fun episode. We had pizza. Our stories were cool. We have
9 senses apparently.
We have 9 senses now. I'm using at least one of them.
At least
to eat this pizza.
Well, you're also using the balance right now.
I am using the balance. I'm using a lot of senses, but you guys know the drill. We talked about the news of the world, some internet news. We talked about our myths. We talked about our psalms. Talked about what's going on in our life. Now, Jonathan's going to hit us with a riddle. We're going to wrap this up.
I don't think they're ready for this one. This one's hard.
We don't share a lot before shows. You guys know this. You shared this with me. I don't think you're going to get it. I don't think you're going to get it.
This is on the scale.
This is on
the hard scale for sure.
This could be the hardest one we've had.
Yeah.
If you get it, let us know. Don't cheat. Don't use Google. Phone a friend if you have to, but don't use Google. Go ahead, Jay.
All right, so here we go. And then we're going to ukulele you out. Okay?
Are we gonna ukulele them?
We're going to ukulele them out.
Fine, I'll get the uke. You get the riddle.
Here we go. What is so fragile that saying its name breaks it?
What is so fragile
deep, man.
that saying its name breaks it?
Yeah, let's say it again though. Let's say it with some oomph. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, you got it. Here, hang on.
Oh yeah, you're gonna give me some suspense, right? You got some suspense on a ukulele? Is it possible to get some suspense on a ukulele? What is so fragile that saying its name breaks it?
Crazy. If you got the answer to the riddle, let us know in the comments. Guys, for what is happening, I've been Isaac.
I'm PJ.
We love you. We appreciate you. Remember, we're better together.
Better together.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.